Hi, my name's Beth, and if you are calling or emailing, there's a good chance that I'll be the one that you're talking to. As with any machine, there are some things that can go wrong, and usually it's something more minor that is fixable, but it's very frustrating if you've got an expensive freeze dryer and it's not working optimally. So early on, we started asking Harvest Right about the possibility of being able to do some servicing here, because even though it has a 3-year limited warranty, the warranty service had to be done in the States. And the shipping of the freeze dryer across the border and back was the responsibility of the customer. So if the machine is under warranty, Harvest Right covers the labor and the parts. It is up to the customer to cover the cost of shipping any parts to the customer or shipping the freeze dryer down to Harvest Right in Utah and back again in order to get it fixed, which that in itself is a big hurdle. So they have sometimes recommended for customers to try to find a local HVAC technician or someone who can do some of that servicing locally here, who is used to working with refrigeration systems or that kind of thing. They're hard to find because the freeze dryer is a unique machine, and not all HVAC professionals want to try to get involved with fixing freeze dryers. So it is hard to find, but even if you do find someone who can fix it locally, depending on who the technician is and what their rates are, you might have to pay some above what the standard cost would be for fixing. As soon as you have somebody who's not certified by Harvest Right, that isn't familiar with the machine doing it, they might be able to fix it, but their work is no longer warranted by Harvest Right. So you have to make sure that that local technician is willing to back his own work, and if it doesn't work after he's done the repairs, that will no longer be covered under Harvest Right. We started trying to look into that process and figuring out how we could get support, how we could get parts in for people and stocking spare parts. So sometimes there's parts that a customer can replace on their own, whether it's a display or more simple parts. I don't know whether there's any other sellers who have carried spare parts. There would be a number who don't even stock the freeze dryers in person, so that if you're wanting to see them firsthand, you can't, because a lot of them do drop shipping direct from Harvest Right. So it was a bit of a process for us, but we did finally get through that process of being able to do servicing for families here, so that if they do run into some of those problems, it's more manageable and we can minimize the frustration and the expense for our customers to be able to keep their machine going. So by going through the process of becoming authorized service dealers, we're working directly with Harvest Right. We're working with their techs. We've been to the facility, seen some of their processing for fixing machines. We have access to all of their information and direct access to their techs, and we're getting all of their parts. So now any repairs that are being done under the Harvest Right warranty, and it doesn't affect your warranty. It will be paid directly by Harvest Right, so that you're not having to put the money out and trying to claim the expenses back. I feel that that is a significant advantage that we can offer that other suppliers aren't. And so if you are needing parts in that process, normally it's the responsibility of the customer to pay for the shipping of those parts. But if you're our customer and you've bought your freeze dryer through us, we'll bring up those parts and be able to do any servicing that's required without the extra charge. I've had some customers who have come that have been frustrated with their experience in purchasing online from others, and they've run into problems for whatever reason, either in getting the product or in having troubles with the machine afterwards, and it's been a frustrating process. And when one of our customers run into a problem, we get involved at a different level, because we'll get their ticket number, we'll call Harvest Right, we'll make sure everything is being resolved, and as much as possible we'll try to resolve the issue on our end. If it's someone who has bought from another distributor, then we don't have those same connections and we're not the supplier. So we can't advocate at quite the same level. I think generally when people are ordering products online, you're not expecting to be able to contact the seller very often, or to get much support, or be able to ask questions if you're having difficulty. There's some exceptions to that, but generally you're kind of on your own when you're ordering a product, and especially for something of this size and expense, that in itself can be a little bit intimidating if you feel like you're not sure where to go with your questions. And so that's why we've tried to fill in that gap for people. And I regularly tell customers that if you have any questions when you're setting up, if you get going and things aren't working, or you have questions, to give me a call, because I have experience with it and I'm able to help answer people's questions and just reassure them. It is a big investment. We don't want to see people going into debt and putting their family in a rough spot to make a big purchase like this, and especially if they're uncertain about it. And so we want you to feel comfortable with it. We want you to enjoy the freeze drying process. So we'll never try to push you to make a purchase that you're not really comfortable with. And we want to work with you and give you the time that you need, but we will try to answer your questions so that if it's something that you do know you really want, but you're just have questions that aren't answered yet, that we can answer them for you. We want it to be a good experience, and we want you to feel totally comfortable with the purchase. And so I guess it's up to each family to decide what's important to them, and whether or not you're wanting to support a big box store or somebody, from a distance that you don't know and aren't going to have much connection to, or whether you want somebody that is going to share some of your values and is a small family business that cares about our customers. And so that's something that each person needs to decide for themselves, whether that's important to them.